I think that being an eagle is a tough thing. I mean, they're out there every day living on the edge of survival. I'm Neil Rettig. I'm a natural history filmmaker. I've been making wildlife documentaries for over 30 years. My big passion in life, though, has been birds of prey.
The really neat thing about this is that on a day like today, you have unlimited visibility in 180 degrees.
After all these years, I decided it was a time to learn more about the national bird, a bird that Americans really don't know all that much about. And so we set out to discover their secret life, how they breed, how they hunt, to depict a real predator, a chaser of ducks, a catcher of game. And what we found was in some ways incredibly mind-blowing. They will face any kind of threat with full force, and they won't hold back.
Here's a couple more chasing each other down here. Look at, they're going to come by. We're going to get some shots.
Along a tributary of the Mississippi, Neil finds the perfect nest site. It happens to be right above the state fish hatchery, in a huge cottonwood tree.
Now, these eagles turned out to be an extraordinary pair to work with. Not only were they very tolerant of human activity, but they were also catching trout right under the nest in the fish hatchery ponds. The female was a particularly cool character. She had one eye missing. Watching these birds work on the nest in the dead of winter was really something. But the most exciting thing was watching them actually swoop down into the waters of the fish hatchery pond. Even though the female had one eye, I was amazed at her accuracy in actually catching trout. There was no toleration of trespassers. The nest site is the nucleus of their activities, and they have to protect the resources right near the nest. Any other eagle that would come anywhere near that fish hatchery pond would be chased off. It's a demonstration, too, of speed and agility. The maneuvers were remarkable through the branches. And that is one of the things that has always just surprised me about this species, how fast they are.
All winter, even as temperatures dip to 20 below, the pair has worked together refurbishing the nest.
I think a lot of the nest building activity is part of pair bonding because they have to get their act together as a matter of survival.
It's now the end of March, and the female settles into the nest with a telltale waggle.
Bald eagles normally lay 2 to 3 eggs. But this spring, the one-eyed female only laid 1 egg.
The couple begins a daily routine. For 5 long weeks, they'll take turns incubating the egg. As winter ebbs, the well-practiced team seems to be headed for success. But spring is a fickle season.
In mid-April, it was a freak snowstorm. I'll never forget it. The nest was being blown around by this violent wind. The snow was going absolute horizontal, and it just kept reminding me of what these birds are facing in everyday life. They were well into incubation, so the changing of the guard was always quick. Because you got to remember, they have delicate eggs that they're protecting and keeping warm. There seemed to be shifts of an hour and a half, where one eagle would sit on the egg while the other was out foraging for food. Through this storm, the male sat, waiting for the female to return. Tragically, something happened to her, we're not sure what. There's so many things out there that can work against the survival of these magnificent birds, and makes you realize how fragile their existence actually is.
Cold and hungry, the father abandons his egg. Now he has lost almost everything. He may find another mate and start all over again. But until then, he must defend his territory alone.